this map, the one I found, propertyrightsresearch.org actually has a better res one. I actually own some big ones around here I got from him that are the high res ones that show it down to county level. But you can see that red is totally off limits, half the country. Buffer zones is about 30% of what's left, and you're left with under 20% total that you can use. Under 20%. And this is a good map. You can see King Ranch down there is in orange. Okay, going back to our guest and then to the calls in the next segment. Rosa, continuing, you were going over the 5 factors of totalitarianism that we see under Stalin, you name it. We're seeing under this global, corporate, neo-feudalistic serf system where they take over via bureaucracy and through finance capital. Please continue.
Yes, this is a loss of your independence. That, if you're going to distill it all the way down, that's where it goes. It's a total loss of your independence, your food independence, your land independence, your water independence, your civil rights. And a totalitarian state has 5 elements, 5 main elements. And that is, of course, total control by the state of education, energy, transportation, all of the elements that make up a country. Right, your land use, your water. And then you have control of all production, right? Then you've got, it's all for the common good. So you have the fatherland, the homeland, everything for the common good. You have this under Hitler, under Stalin, under Mao. You're hearing this now. This is a communitarian plan. That's what communitarianism is. It's balancing the rights of the individual against the rights of the larger community, in this case, the global community, and you will lose. Scarcity, that's another element of a totalitarian plan. Right now, this is the plan is, okay, right at this moment, you have to pull in, you've got to conserve, you need to restrict yourself, you have scarcity. But then here's another element, is the glorious future, the vision of the glorious future. And of course, you look at these plans that you're seeing all over the United States and across the world that are like Vision 2020, Your City 2050, 4 states, 1 vision, 5 counties, 1 vision. You'll see this, 1 Bay Area. It's all over the world. Okay, these plans are all the same all across the world.
And they're openly trying to get rid of sheriffs and make it an appointed position and have the city under international control, as Schwarzenegger said in USA Today, absorb the county, which is completely backwards. The county is chartered by the state and is the authority. The city is the little incorporation. So again, it's the cities taking over the counties, which is a complete fraud.
Well, what you have is basically a regional takeover, and those boards they may be made up of elected officials, but they're not elected boards. And this is the building block to mega regions, which I'd like to talk about as well. There are 11 mega regions in the United States. 50 states are going to be a thing of the past, and you will see 11 mega regions, and ultimately globalism and an erasure of the national borders. So I want to tell you what the last 2 elements of a totalitarian state are. And we're talking about a corporatocracy, these public-private partnerships. This is an element of the creation of fascism, totalitarianism. So you've got this vision of the vibrant future. That word vibrant, the green, glorious, vibrant future, fast trains, everyone on a bike, everyone's smiling, drinking coffee downstairs in your downstairs coffee shop. Everyone, no one seems to be working in these visions, right? Then the other element of a totalitarian state is terror. The war on terror is a war on you. And I know you know that. This is what's happening now, is you cannot travel freely. You can't get on a plane.
That's exactly what Agenda 21 says, is you're not going to get flight unless they authorize the trip. You're not going to have a car unless they authorize it. It's all admitted is what's crazy. I mean, people are like, well, they're going to bankrupt the airlines. That's the plan. They don't want you flying. They'll do whatever it takes. They're even now, the TSA, I saw an article a month ago, is even saying in some cases they are going to go in the body now with a nurse. You're like, strip search isn't bad enough behind closed doors? If they can't stop you to fly, they're going to start. I mean, it is incredible.
Yeah. And they call us crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
You have to get excited and upset about this stuff because it's real. And the thing is, I wouldn't like people to feel paralyzed by this, because the fact is we are waking up all across the world. People are joining together. It doesn't matter what your political party is. It doesn't matter what your affiliations are, whether you're gay, straight, whatever. I happen to be gay, and I'm telling you that because I've seen a whole bunch of ridiculous stuff in the press too about me. And the truth is, this stuff's irrelevant when you get right down to it. We're talking about our freedom here. We're talking about our freedom as free people across the world. And there are way more of us than there are of them. So we need to do our civil disobedience. We need to stand up, speak out, educate ourselves and each other. We need to spread this information. This is not a conspiracy theory. It's a conspiracy fact. This is real. Agenda 21 is the agenda for the 21st century. If you go to America2050.org, you will see 11 megaregions. This is the plan. It's to erase the boundaries, the city, county, state, and national boundaries.
And worldwide, they've got 10 megaregions, and they even admit in the SPP documents that they're merging the countries under this. It's already happened.
That's right. Yes, that is right. And people need to take a look at this, because what you need to do is ask your elected officials whether they support Agenda 21, where they stand on ICLEI. Now listen, there are going to be some good politicians, but most of them are bad. It's our job to make bad politicians do the right thing. It is our job as Americans, as French people, as Australians, as New Zealanders, as free people across across the world, to stand up and say no. We will not be subjected to this plan. We need to stop it now. We're in the end game now. So what you need to do is educate yourself, make flyers. We have flyers on our website for you that you can make. And it doesn't sound like something that sounds like fun, but believe me, you get out there with 7,000 flyers like we did, and we stopped some of these plans in our city here in Santa Rosa, California. We're doing it all across the San Francisco Bay Area to stop one Bay Area, which would subject 7 million people to a regionalization plan that most of these people, 99.9% of them, do not know anything about it. It combines transportation with housing. And you will see this, that you are restricted in your transportation choices. You will lose your ability to have a private vehicle. Your roads will be pulverized. You will be subjected to searches and seizures in your trains. You will not be able to get onto a train without identification. That means you'll be carrying ID on you at all times.
And they're running green police ads for Audi, and then the makers of it and the mayor of San Francisco said, this is what we really plan, and they already had green police in many cities in that very uniform. All this is psych warfare. I mean, it's so insane how evil these people are. And the weird thing is, and Rose, I want to talk to you about this after we take some calls, I've been to smart growth conferences 12, 13 years ago. I've been around them. They'll turn to you when your camera's off and go, we know it's a takeover. Ha, 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 we're going to make money. Most of them are actual crooks, even low level. They know this is a criminal mobster gang, but because they've got long hair and flip-flops and guys in suits, everybody thinks it's okay. Okay, this is a short segment, big long segment, and then a little segment coming up. We're going to be going to your calls. Now, I know these callers, most of them were holding before she got on. But I don't want to hang up on you. I want to hear what you have to say. So we'll race through yours and then everybody else that calls in, Agenda 21. But it's such a giant subject. I mean, it's everything. So I don't know how you couldn't address it to our guest, Rosa Koire. Again, Behind the Green Mask, Agenda 21 is the best primer. 180 pages with documents, you name it, how to fight it, what they're doing, how to recognize it, to give to people in your area. But you don't want regionalism. You don't want smart growth. You don't want sustainability. It has nothing to do with that. It's a power grab. And it hurts real environmental concerns because it takes over the whole movement and makes it only about globalist corporate power grabbing. So it's just a nightmare. You're on the air with Rosa Koire, our guest, Sam in Missouri. You're on the air. Welcome.
Hi. I was just thinking about what you said about the takeover of the water supplies, and I know that some of the big industry beverage giants have already kind of went in and taken total control over it. Even in
no, they come in and buy city reservoirs, like right here in Central Texas where we live. and then they double the price. It's not free market. Your city's traitorous, your county, your state, they sell it. They call it privatization, and they double the price. I mean, it's just total criminality. They're taking the commons. Go ahead.
Does that tie in somehow to, like, maybe...
Yes.
Yeah, that's why they're saying blue gold now, because they're going to jack up the price with artificial scarcity. Rosa?
Yeah, I really want to talk about that. Thank you for asking that question, because yes, your water agencies need to be investigated. They are completely, totally connected with United Nations Agenda 21 Sustainable Development and with ICLEI, the International Council on Local Environmental Initiatives. You will find that the more you conserve water, the more you will pay for water, because this is the plan to restrict your water usage. You will end up getting like an allotment of 10 gallons per person per day. The water agencies are restricting your water. And another thing you'll find is that your dams are being destroyed. And I'm not talking about little dams that don't, serve many people. I'm talking about huge dams up in Northern California, up in Oregon, across the United States. About 1,000 dams so far have been destroyed. The plan is to destroy your independence in the rural areas and destroy your ability to obtain water.
Same thing. They're having government buy up and have regulators force small power plants, whether they're hydroelectric or coal, to shut down. So your city or your county or co-op's gone. So it's so they can force you to buy it from them. It's so criminal.
Yes, that's right. And that's what you see with community choice aggregation. You've got your government, which can't even keep its own streetlights on, is now going to go into the power business and compete with the big power producers. And you are going to be paying for this. And this is This is designed to make our economy fail. This is the purpose of Agenda 21, is to destroy your independence, both financial and your land independence, and ultimately the independence that you have in your own body. And this is the plan of Agenda 21. I want people to know, though, there are things we can do about it. I've got about 20 pages in my book, on what you can do. And you don't have to buy the book. You can go to my website. I have information there. The thing is that we need to work together as a world to fight this, because this has been way too easy for them. They've managed to fly under the radar for a long time and make it seem like we're fringe. It's really coming out now. And this is the time that we have to really fight it. And we will win this together. We can stop United Nations Agenda 21 Sustainable Development. We will prevail on this.
By the way, you're not just saying that. Maurice Strong, the head of Agenda 21 in Rio, when they started all this 20 years ago, they're about to have the new event this year, said, this will be a post-industrial America. Our goal is to destroy the United States industrially. And, of course, he's moved to China. Of course, they're exempt. So yeah. It's all about forcing everything to their system, where they made a deal with authoritarians. So by shutting us down, that increases their value.
He's got, of course, he's in Crestone, Colorado, and I've been contacted with the people in Crestone, Colorado, who are just in the Baca there, who are just their area, their town is being taken over by Maurice Strong. If you go to the 1976 Habitat 1 United Nations conference, you will see that they define private property as being unsustainable because it is an instrument of obtaining wealth. The plan is to bankrupt all of us as individuals, to destroy our...
And this is the mega billionaires who are exempt from everything.
Yes, that's right. Of course, Maurice Strong owns this whole valley, all this water. He was